Hi everybody. Thank you all for coming here. Really appreciate everybody that bought tickets, came and donated stuff. Really appreciate it. Shannon and Jeff worked their ass off for this.
You have two.
Okay, I got to ask a question because I have about 15 different lectures that I do. So I usually ask the crowd certain questions that so I don't bore the hell out of you with the different lectures that I do. Who here is a paranormal investigator? Who here wants to be a paranormal investigator? And it's not. All right, there you go. Little kids here, so I'm not going to do the scary stuff. I actually did that once. The little girl had almost a heart attack sitting there, so I'm not gonna give the same way to Nate chose. Lectures I usually do is the going to ghost hunting, movements, their uses. So today I'm gonna do a little bit of something that I don't usually do. Usually the word gets everybody mad. I have the do's and don'ts of ghost hunting equipment, the uses and the stupidity that are some of the pieces of equipment. A lot of the equipment out there is basically useless for paranormal activity. I've done this now for 19 years as of May of this year. And I've gone on, tonight will be my 667th investigation. So, I've done a lot of stuff. I've seen almost every single piece of evidence you can get except for ectoplasm. Don't believe it exists. Hell, 667 investigations. I would have seen some kind of slime somewhere. But I've seen 5 full body apparitions. I've been to 4 exorcisms, countless demonic hauntings, and obviously countless residual, intelligent hauntings and all that stuff. I've been to a couple of poltergeists too. Those are fun. But a lot of people I noticed watch shows. They watch ghost hunters, and I like to apologize for some of the stuff that you see on that you've seen in ghost hunters of us, because we brought in tools that weren't useful. We were just told to use the stuff because it looks good on TV. The fans like it. So whatever. First thing I'm going to tell you is your thermal camera. No, absolutely not. It does not catch paranormal activity. I'm sorry, it just does not. I went to Firefighter Academy 2 years ago. I came this close from graduating. Long story, wife got pregnant, yada yada yada, and I couldn't stay there anymore. I graduated the first part, Firefighter 1. I didn't take my hazmat, so I couldn't get my certificate. But they all knew what I did. In fact, they kind of hazed me for the first time I walked in there. They had me walking around there. They had ghost hunters on TV. So they put me in charge of the after fire, where you walk in, the thermal camera, see the hot spots, and knock down walls, get to the hot spots, stuff like that. So when I first got the floor, it was actually like a modified version of what they use on ghost hunters. I was like, yeah, this isn't going to work. I'm like, I can't even see in front of my face. I got my SCBAs on and stuff, my gas mask and everything else. I'm like, I'm not going to see anything. I put it on the floor, walk in there, no smoke. I saw all the walls, the furniture, everything. But the smoke was so thick I couldn't even do this. Like John Cena, couldn't even do this. Couldn't even see my hand in front of my face. So I'm like, how? I started thinking, if I can't see smoke that thick on the thermal, how are you going to see a little misty thing running by? And I started doing my research. And I realized thermal cameras, you need mass. You need some kind of form of matter to create a temperature. I know, people say they want the Crescent Hotel and all that stuff, and I have my theories about that stuff, and they all know, so I don't care. To spend $10,000 on a piece of equipment is ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. I say this to everybody. If you have a paranormal group, and you have 10 grand sitting there in a little pile, and you're salivating to spend it, take your group to Ireland. Take your group investigating somewhere that you've never been before. Because, one piece of equipment, you can say, oh yeah, I own it. Okay, and then you have no money to go anywhere else and use it. So what are you going to do with it? But that's the one big thing. you see it on Ghost Hunters, you see it on Paranormal State and Ghost Adventures, and don't get me wrong, all these people on these shows are my friends. You know, I talk to them a lot, yada yada yada. So, you know, I'm not bashing their shows or anything. It's just not. You got to realize when a show is out there, we don't pay for that. The production company pays for all the equipment. You know, people might say, oh, you know, certain people might say that, yeah, this is all my stuff. But if you look very closely, especially Ghost Hunters, and you see the DVR system, you see these little silver stamps on all the equipment. It says property of Pilgrim Films and Television. It's not our stuff. You know, when Ghost Hunters is canceled, all that stuff's going away. So that's why we couldn't get all that stuff, because we got to pay for it. So that's why one big thing. Thermal cameras bug me. They irk me. As you can see, I never really used it on the show. Didn't like it. Kind of cool. You know, when we first got it, it was kind of cool because we actually, you know, did some really weird things with them. You know, I'm not gonna get into what we did, but it was, yeah. But that's one piece. Another piece that I'm going to tell you about, everybody uses. They're cheap to buy. Infrared night vision cameras. Certain things you can catch on night vision infrared cameras. I have. But if you're into paranormal, like I am, you're always looking for the shadow peaks. This new class of paranormal activity called shadow peaks. What does an infrared night vision camera do? It makes everything in nighttime look like daytime, so it blows out shadows. I'll tell you a little story. I was sitting in Castle Robert in Slovakia. Me and Barry. I don't know if you guys saw that episode where I kept hitting my shins on the little benches they had there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Barry started laughing, and then he got hit right away. It's the funniest thing. All you hear is me go, ugh. He goes, ugh. It's like suck up camera. We had this experience up there. Blew my mind. Literally. We're up there. Now, this is the first ghost hunting team ever to investigate this place. So the ghosts were as interested in us as we were as them. Because nobody's ever been there at 3 o'clock in the morning looking around. And all these ghosts are going, what the hell are these people? You know, usually it's closed off, locked up, people going home. Up in the top level, the highest you can get, the throne room, the king's throne room. You know, his court was up there. We were standing up there, next to the back wall. I look out, and I see these 3 shadow people. 1, 2, 3. They're standing there like this looking at us. I didn't say nothing. Because if Barry didn't see it, then I'm the crazy one. And I'm already depicted as a crazy one, so I wasn't saying a damn thing. So Barry goes, Brian, I said 3 of them, huh? He went, huh? Okay. And a lot of this you didn't see on the show because we couldn't film it. I get my camera out, I'm like, yeah, this is good. Awesome. Take a flash picture, you go out the shadows, and you get in. What about my little cheesy $200 Sony high mini DV thing? Come on, I'm looking right at the stand. I'm looking right over the camera. I can't see them. I can't see what they are. So I'm like, Barry, come here, look. Can't see them. So I take Dave. Dave was one of the camera guys. Actually, Dave is, you all saw Dave in the Eastern State Penitentiary. He's the one that ran out of the prison with me, Dude Run. That's Dave. So I get his $25,000 camera that they use to film the show. And I said, give me this thing. Put it on my shoulder, focused it in, can't see it. The infrared night vision was blowing up the shadow people. And these shadow people were awesome. It felt like they were kids because they were so enthralled by what we were doing there. Like there was like these, on the 2 sides, there was like these little walls edged out. And the 2 of them were walking down that one, there were 2 paths. But the one in the middle was walking down the floor, but there was no floor there. There used to be a floor. But he was walking in midair. And I was like, that was kind of cool. You know, I'm like levitating something. But the 2 on the sides would like stop next to the wall and go. And they were like peeking out like they were kids. And I'm like, we can't get this on tape. I'm so mad. So that's one of the reasons why you can still use them. They're great to use. They're great to investigate with because there are certain things you can catch. But when you're dealing with shadow people or shadow figures, it's impossible. You can't catch anything with them. That case in point. Another thing that I'm going to teach you guys all the trick of the trade that I learned. When you're using a camera inside of a room that's dark, you always have to say flash, and click, and then everybody gets blinded. And Or you do like I did one day and actually blinded myself because I had the camera back. Keith will tell you that story. He was standing right there. You know, it's like, that was wonderful. I couldn't see for like a half hour. Whenever you hit flash, you blow out the room. Well, I found a little technique that works perfect. You know those little mag lights when they're about to die? You get that little yellowish light. Whenever you get to that point where the batteries are, take them out safely. Then you go into a room and you know there's evidence. You know there's a shadow person walking around in there. There's some kind of entity walking around in there. Take those mag lights, turn them on, throw them all across the rooms, under the bed, over in the corner. You get this very, very dim, low light in the room. Like so dim you can barely see. But then you can use your camera without a flash. And you actually see shadow. You can actually see shadows standing away from the walls. It actually happened to us with New Zealand, I think it was. Some castle. I've done too many. Larnach Castle, I think it was. We did that in one of the rooms, the mannequin room, where we did that, and there was a shadow person in there. We actually caught something. We couldn't depict what it was, but you could actually see a shadow sitting by itself in the middle of the room. There was nobody in there. It was actually me taking the picture from the dome. It was absolutely wonderful. And I know a few people that. Hi, Keith. Everybody knows Keith Johnson.